Hi. This is a story called Chickens on Farmway, written April 2020 by Avard. Hello again. This is a story of where I used to live. Back then the neighbours were like good friends, and we had a house with a long garden. While I was at home, Mum would be watching TV and Dad would cut the grass. We had Rex and Sheba later,
Woof woof,
who were dogs, and Shell the tortoise and Timmy the budgie, and a fish pond that Dad had built. But not all at the same time, as his story goes through the years. First we had Rex. Rex used to run up and down the garden with Spider, the dog next door. And Shell the tortoise climbed up the fence and got into the neighbour's garden. Later Dee dug potholes in the garden for something to do. The neighbours could talk over the fence back then.
Hello, how are you doing? I'm okay, how are you doing? I'm doing very fine, I'm fine.
Timmy the budgie used to run up and down on the sofa. One night we had fireworks and the twins came over. Mum had giant cotton wool buds in her ears as Rex was barking.
woo 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 woo.
Some guy tried to steal our washing from the washing line late one night, and a neighbour found our washing in her garden, Janet and Doug. She thought it was a dead body and rang the police. I think Rex had chased him over the fence. As winter came, we had a lot of snow. The guy next door, called Terry, decided it would be funny to chuck snowballs at Dee. But when Terry went behind his shed to hide from Dee chucked a huge snowball at the roof, and the lot came down all over him. He was soaked. He went inside, and his dad said to him,
"What you done in your pants, son?"
I'm soaked!
After a while, some years had passed by, as they do. 10, 20, 30. Sheba stole the neighbour's flower pots, and he was looking around the garden for them, while Sheba ran around with them on her nose. Kenny said,
Where's my flower pots?
it was a quiet area and was nice in the summer, and the garden was nice to sit in. There was a bee on a giant sunflower, waving at Dee.
Hello, Dee.
Then Sheba had a meat bone and teased Toby next door with it. Toby was a dog next door. She pulled it in and out of the fence, in and out of the fence.
In, out, shake it all about.
Later, Kenny and Albert, the neighbours, the other side, were fighting about chickens and wood. Kenny asked Albert to get him some chickens. "Just 2, he said. Well, Albert came back with 13 of them. 13. Chickens, oh chickens. Albert went and got some baby chickens. Little did he know they'd grow and grow. Kenny come home and found lots of chickens. Kenny had to build a place for them all to live when he came home from work. Albert was holding the same end of the wood as Kenny was. So Kenny said to Albert,
Not that bleeding end, the other end. The other end, I said.
They all escaped, and Dee and Dad was chasing them around the garden. Doug and Janet, on the other side, were neighbours, were watching us as we chased them.
How about a little help?
They replied,
"You must be joking."
Kenny and Albert were still fighting about the chickens, as we could hear them through the wall shouting at each other, "Bleep!" Some time had passed, and I heard singing at 5 a.m. Dee said.
Cock-a-doodle-oo.
We didn't realise that chickens could sing until 3 of them had turned out to be boys, especially at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Freaking choir, 5 a.m.
Dee had started to learn to read music and to learn the keyboards, and she also started up exercises and would run up and down the stairs 3 times each week to music.
Wiggle, wiggle, walk, walk. Wiggle, wiggle, walk, walk. Run, run, wiggle, walk, wiggle, walk.
All of a sudden, Sheba hit the fence hard late one night. Bang! And we all came out, but there was nothing there. The next day we found out that a neighbour's friend was putting a card through the door. Because the guy was a stranger walking up the pathway late at night, Sheba had jumped at the fence and barked. She rarely ever barked. The guy said he did something in his pants when he heard the fence hit so hard, and then he ran. For a short time, Kenny did a house swap with his brother, and his brother had a dog called Sam. Sam, Sam, you know where I am. Sam would sit and listen to Dee playing keyboards. Then later Kenny had returned back again. They did another swap. One night Kenny was drunk and had fallen over the fence. He was laying on the floor in our garden.
Oh,
he said. Then time had moved on, and it speeds up very fast when you start getting older. Dad used to go to the Once social club where Don played and Roy owned it. All the old neighbours that we knew had moved away now, and the fences were higher, and the new neighbours were not so friendly. It seemed different, very lonely now. That's when Dad made these new friends. I say new friends. Some not so good. One called Derek, who said,
where's me teeth?
He hung around for quite a while, unfortunately, turning up every week with these other friends. And time moved on again, and that's it. Chickens, chickens, oh chicken. Albert went and got some baby chickens.